down. I'm the one you call when you need a 10 up or down. I'm a tent rental man, I'm working all day, getting those stakes in the ground no matter what they say. From sunrise to the night, I make sure everything's right. Yeah, I'm a tent rental man, I'm working all day.
And we're back again with another episode of Under the Vinyl. We got a great tailgate talk today, just kind of recapping the season and closing out the season. But yeah, another great episode of Under the Vinyl Arena Management Media Podcast. Kyle, how you doing, buddy?
Hanging in there. It's finally January.
And
Thank
I am
God.
finally on vacation, baby.
Oh, must be nice.
Till after the new year. Well, you know, it is and it isn't. There's not a whole heck of a lot that I can possibly do right now. It's 30 degrees outside. It's supposed to be 55 by the middle of the day, so I am going to try and go play golf and see what happens and pass some time. Maybe my wife will be happy that I don't have a whole lot going on because I'll at least be able to clean the house and have things ready when she gets home. So I can
Playing Mr. Mom over there?
Hey, if I play Mr. Mom now, that when we start traveling again in January and February for show season, I'll be in good standing. So we just gotta get them while we can, you know.
Do you have the song pumping in the background when you're doing the dishes?
Oh, I have music blaring. It's usually some
do you
real.
have Mr. Mom, the song?
No. I have some real bangers, I would say. Some 90s rap usually.
Okay.
Crank up the music, turn up the subs, let the whole house blare. You know, we're good. Wife gets home and she accidentally turns on TV and about makes her ears explode, but hey, everything's done, so that's all that matters, right?
That's all that matters.
Well, we got another season in the books, right? Tents are coming down, trucks are cleaned, phones have stopped ringing. Or have they started ringing?
Speak for yourself on the clean trucks thing. That's on the list. It's been too cold for them to start that project, though.
I know. I mean, I think about that, too. My guys, I feel like it's usually about to the point where they finally get some dead weeks, and it's like after everything is finally done, then they'll pull the truck in and they start cleaning everything. And that's like the last resort that they have to clean the truck, which should be the first resort. But
if only they just emptied the trash out when they got back every day. It would take 2 minutes.
But you know, I did the same thing with my wife. Her car is always the one that all the kids leave all their trash and junk in it, and my car is the one that always stay clean because I hold them accountable and make them take their stuff out. Where my wife just kind of, it is what it is, and so I put a trash can right outside the car in the garage, and they still don't use it. So it's kind of like, you know, picking and choosing. I don't know.
That's Brian's pet peeve. Brian will come in some mornings when we're busy, and the first thing he'll do is just go start opening cab doors of the trucks. And the guys it's funny because they know now that it means he's going to start yelling. So if they see him walking towards trucks, they all sprint out there and start cleaning stuff up.
Well, you know, as far as cleaning goes too, like even just picking stuff up off the floor when you see it. I was down at Classic for the tenting, the master tenting classes, and I saw a guy walk by that worked for Classic and noticed that he picked something up off the ground as a piece of wood or plastic or whatever it was and threw it away. And I was like, dang, you know, look at that guy being attention to detail and everything. So I just wish that more people would do that and just pay attention to those things.
I've debated taking dollar bills and taping them on a coffee cup. Just
like
leaving it there.
Like that guy with the fishing pole. I got your dollar. I got your dollar.
Yeah, just see how long it stays there.
Yeah. Oh, man.
This episode of Under the Vinyl is brought to you by Anchor Industries, a fifth-generation, family-owned American manufacturer of tents and clear-span structures. Anchor has spent decades engineering products that last season after season, and they're more than just your supplier. They're a partner committed to helping grow your business. And right now, Anchor's winter discount is live. Get 15% off frame, fabric, and accessories for your tents and clear spans now through January 26th. Make sure you let them know Kyle and Nate sent you. Contact your sales rep today. Call 800-544-4445 or visit anchorinc.com to learn more.
Well, every year starts to feel longer and shorter at the same time, it seems like for me. It's just been this season, this season of life too, with 3 kids, wife being busy with work, me being busy with work. It was almost like I prayed to get to the end of the season, but almost when we get to the end of the season and you're like, man, it's over. Like
Now what?
it was fun. It was fun, but now what? And I feel like every year it just feels longer and longer, and the grind is harder and harder. But it also just it feels like it flies by. I feel that first part of the season. I don't know about you, but I felt like the first part of the season really was tough, but it kind of drug out. And then you get to July, it's kind of dead a little bit, and then after July, everything just kind of flew on by. And October was here before you knew it, and now it's December.
Yeah, and there's snow on the ground. I feel like I'm going to take work out of this. I feel like I was sitting on my boat like 2 weeks ago, enjoying a beautiful lake day, sending you pictures of me drinking beer. And now it's cold and snowing.
Yeah, and well, at least you're still busy a little bit. What are you guys, currently doing right now?
We wrapped up. We just had one big project in December, a nice 25-meter at a country club for a Christmas party. So nothing crazy. It tested us, though, on the heat. We ended up having to run the heat for a week and a half. So looking at how we can do things differently next year, because the production company became a bunch of sissies and wanted it 75 degrees in there 24 hours a day. So
Which is hot. My house stays on 68 year-round.
the way they explained it to me was they are union, and if the guys get cold, they'll just complain to the union, and then the company gets in trouble or something.
Strikes against him. Yep. Okay, that would make more sense.
But, like, come on. Let's be real.
Yeah, you're going to have that, though, with the union. I mean, we talked about that in another episode with the H2B guy. So I mean that'll that's it is what it is. We'll put it that way. But I feel like this was probably one of the most physically exhausting seasons for me, just because it was just between work and home, just everything going on in home life with work and just continuing to grow the Nashville side of the business, Chattanooga as a whole. We grew as a company again this year. It also just felt like one of the most rewarding years I've had, I think, in my career. And I feel like every year I could say has been rewarding, but I would think that this year stands out the most, just from a growth aspect. I think that my Nashville team has really grown, finally going into year 4 coming up this year. I feel like we're in a good spot. We got a good team. We've got some new people in some new places, filling some roles. So I'm able to fill some other voids in some other areas to kind of grow that side. I feel like Chattanooga as a whole is on continuing to grow. Still, even being coming up on a 91-year-old company, I feel like we're still finding our niche in different aspects and different things. And it felt like it was really good. It was really rewarding by the time you look back on it. What about you?
No, it was definitely a great season. Business-wise, we had a great year. I'm very happy with where we ended up. I have a lot of thinking to do as we go into winter on some stuff that needs to change. It's going to be tough. I'm going to have some uncomfortable conversations here in the next few weeks with some of my guys because they're getting comfortable. At some points, I think they think that I work for them and they don't work for me. And some of that is just as I am growing up and maturing, I can't be their friend anymore. We talked about that in the Jared Nigro episode, that is what gets really tough. So I got one guy in particular I'm going to have a come to Jesus with, as we like to call them around here, where you either need to shape up or you're going to get shipped out, sir.
Absolutely. So. Well, anymore, I feel like a lot of this happened after COVID or during COVID, when people just their mindset, and we've talked about this 100 times, but their mindset and their mind, just everything shifted. Totally shifted into, I'm in charge. I have the authority because, labor was hard to find. There wasn't a lot of people out there. And so that's when labor companies started being able to charge more. There was more specialized labor. The employee really had the upper hand at the end of the day. And I think that, I gotta be careful with how I say this, but I think that it made it more, it put it on them, but we need to get back to the point of this business was here before you, and it's going to be here after you. And it's same for me. I mean, I'm not saying just me and you, same thing, same difference. It was here before us. It's going to be here after us. We didn't start this business. We were just lucky enough to become in it. I say lucky lightly because sometimes we are like, how the hell did we get here? But it's one of those things where you got to kind of let them know, hey man, we got to keep this going, and we all got to push in the same direction and row in the right direction and get this thing moving forward. And that's what we kind of talked about the other day is just, showing employees numbers, showing them where we're at, where we need to be, showing them the growth, showing them the trajectory, how we want to get there, and making them feel a part of it without them trying to take it over. But, when you give somebody so much responsibility, their heads become a little bit bigger, their egos become a little bit bigger, and you got to learn to get them to put it to the side and row in the same direction still. And so there's just different things I feel like you have to do that. Sometimes a good reality check is one, but then how you approach that reality check and how you move on from there is huge.
Yeah. It's it's tough.
So what do you think was the busiest 2 to 3 week stretch that you had this year?
Oh, mid-May for us is our slam time. That's don't talk to me, don't call me, don't text me time for everyone. Anyone in my life knows don't bother me from like May 1st to May 31st. Don't ask me to do anything. Don't ask me to go to dinner. Hopefully I'll call you back within 2 weeks.
May, June, and then October, really?
Yeah. October for us isn't crazy. I don't know. We're not into big weddings. That's just not our market.
Right.
We're commercial mainly. So our October is never really a slamming time. We're doing a lot of stuff for universities and schools at that point because it's all homecomings and things like that. But it's nothing crazy.
Well, did you have any big installs that you're most proud of this year? Anything that was different?
Garden tent with Holland Park. That was great.
The white one?
No, we did our black one, the 25.
Oh, the black one. Yeah, the black one.
Good job. I was real happy with how that came out. And then we've been entering the structure market more and more, so every structure job I'm real happy about. Just getting my father on board with pricing is the hard part. He thinks you should.
I think that's the hard part for everybody.
He thinks you should be able to charge purchase price for every rental, but.
Well, I mean, you always give me hell for some of my pricing sometimes, but it's like, man, it's a different market. It's wild out there, especially for me this year. I mean, I think that I was most proud of everything we did, but I mean, this was a year of 40 meter for me. I think I had 3 or 4 40 meters personally that I had go out, which was pretty damn cool because that in years past I think maybe since I've been at Chattanooga, I probably had 1 or 2 40 meters, maybe. But 3 in the same year was just pretty wild to me. And then the garden tent.
We almost had one together, remember?
Yeah.
That guy.
We almost had a 40 meter together. And then the garden tent, I felt like probably to end the season, which was pretty wild, I had a garden tent go up in Nashville on a floor that went from 0 to 16 foot high, which was freaking wild. I think that was, I mean, just seeing that done was wild, and being there and watching that thing go up, and then also having another garden tent going up at the same time in Georgia. So I had two garden tents go up at the same time at the end of the season, which I was most stressed about all year, just navigating the directions of those because the timelines, with those garden tents are so thin. But getting that done and doing that was really cool, and I think that was probably the most fun I had, most stressful fun.
Yeah. I mean, I would say another big thing this year that kind of I had some aha moments was just how much better my guys are getting at this. We're on year 5 now of H2B, so I have the same guys every single year. So it's like they step in the door day 1, and they know exactly what they have to do, and they're familiar with 80% of the jobs we're doing. So it's a lot of recurring work. So like you just send them to the site, and they know exactly what has to happen. They know where everything is. We're banging out like county fairs 2 or 3 days faster than we were 5 years ago, which is just crazy. A lot of that is mechanism. I'm tired of giving Tenox shout outs, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, we know that Tenox has revolutionized this industry, and it continues to do that. And we got an 8 series this year, and my first job of the year. I'll say it again, Kyle. I know you're tired of hearing about it, but my garden tent at the Titans Stadium. It was it saved the day. That 8 Series saved the day on that job in general for me, and that's when I've always thought that the 8 Series would be great for us, and when we talked about it and everything. But when we got it and we got it on the field, and the things I was able to do out there with that, because we had to lay Duramat everywhere, so you couldn't drive a 5K, 6K on that field without Duramat. But as soon as they saw the 10-ox with the turf tires, they were like, yeah, it's fine. So I was carrying 3,800-pound blocks across the field without having to use Duramat. I mean, it saved our ass, really, at the end of the day. I mean, but
I
yeah,
rode my
Andy,
860 till 20 minutes ago before I left the job site when it overheated.
Oh no, what happened today?
Yeah,
In the cold?
yeah. I don't know. I think the thermostat stuck closed. We're tearing it apart right now. We'll get it running. That's why I got to own 7. That's why I tell Andy Matrix. Got to own 7 machines because you'll break one every day.
What did you feel that there was anybody that you should give a special shout out crew wise or anything that really stepped up this year for your team?
I just want to give a shout out to all of my H2B guys. They'll never hear this, but honestly, like we could not do it without them. Mm-hmm. They leave their families for 8-9 months every year to come here and stay with us, and we couldn't do what we do without those guys, and it's nuts that they're willing to do that and the sacrifices they make for their families. One of the guys had his father pass away while he was here, and he refused to go home because he didn't want to. He just wanted to make money while he was here because knew that's the better choice for his family. So those guys really are the backbone of our company, and they deserve all the gratitude and shout-outs in the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, it becomes more – I mean, shout out as a whole to the whole Chattanooga Tent crew as a whole, and I'll get to that. But for me, the beginning of the year was really tough. I think Emily found out she had cancer in March or April. Mm-hmm. And so, but it was like right as we were going into busy season. It was April actually going into May of busy season. And so still trying to grind it out in May and June was really tough. But midway through the year, we hired 2 we call them site superintendents, project managers, but they're more site superintendents more than anything. Hired one at the middle of the year and another one towards the middle to the end of the year. And that took so much weight off of my plate personally to be able to take a step back and be not on the road or not at a site so much. I mean, traveling 2,000 miles a month was tough, sometimes 3. But being able to step back and kind of be more at home or in the office and take care of things at home, those site superintendents really stepped up there. And then it goes back to biggest shout out is, I would say, I know the crews on the site setting up and the conditions and everything like that, but I want to say our team in-house, the vinyl team, people in the office recording everything that's coming in and out, going in and out, keeping track of the inventory, but more so the vinyl, what it takes. I think those are the unsung heroes, the guys that are in the warehouse. Logan is part of making sure that gets out the door and everything, but I think the people
you can't give him any credit. I know he listens, so.
No, yeah, I give him credit all day, but more so the vinyl department in general, him overseeing that department, him overseeing everybody in the warehouse, but the vinyl department as a whole, when that stuff comes back and it's wet or nasty or it's got holes in it, you got to get it ready, prepped, and on to the next job. And that next job could be in 2 days. So just a turnaround time on that on first shift, second shift, I think those are the unsung heroes that nobody really talks about. So want to give them a shout out as well as everybody else.
I still love that you guys run second shift. I don't know if we've ever talked about that on here, but I love that.
Yeah, it's almost an as-needed thing. It's become more consistent this year, through the year. I don't know that we'll do it through the wintertime or not, but I know through the year this year it's been phenomenal. There's not a ton of guys on second shift. I think maybe 4 or 5. But, it's enough to keep everything running and moving, and it helps out a ton just to keep everything moving.
I think I could get away with it if I had a dryer, which I really want to buy one. I have it on my wish list.
It helps a ton, but you still got your times like with your sailcloth that you still need to hang it.
Yeah.
So you got to just find that balance in there.
I think the solution is to move to like Georgia where you can hang it all outside or something.
Yeah, but you're still going to get mildew.
Vinyl. my vinyl crew cannot keep up. I do feel bad sometimes because I'm constantly on them about like, okay, I need this, and I need it tomorrow. Like, let's go.
Right. Oh, I know.
But,
And Deb that works for us, she keeps track of all the jobs that all the vinyl has been on and where it goes and everything like that, and RFID and oh my gosh, there's days where I just hear her yelling through the wall because she gets so upset because they might have switched a top or things get misplaced or anything like that, and it's wild.
Yeah,
But vinyl.
I'm scared that one day the guy who runs our vinyl department's gonna die because a lot of it is in his head. Like, he knows where everything that's wet and dirty is. Like, he has special places. He's like, all right, I put this here, put this here. Okay, as long as
I hate to tell you, Kyle, but everybody dies one day, so you're going to have to get that figured out. Hate to break that to you, but and speaking of that,
first.
Do you feel like you found a balance of pushing or burning people out this year, or was it pretty much around the same as every year?
No, I think I haven't done the full math yet, and I'm going to pull those numbers here soon once we get this job done. But I think our overtime is down for the year. Crew size is pretty close to exactly the same. I think we actually had less guys this year than we had the year before. But we're really pushing to not work every Saturday and Sunday. As the guys' wages get increased, as we learned in the H2B episode, every single year, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I am really striving to cut back on inventory, that too, but on overtime. Some of that is we say no a little bit more than we used to. If I know it's going to push us to have to work on a Saturday, we're either going to charge accordingly for that, or we're going to just say, yeah, sorry, we're booked for that week. It's not always worth taking every job. I try to explain that to a lot of the people I talk to, but some people are just revenue hungry, and I'm really profit hungry is all I really care about. Yeah,
we had that meeting the other day, and I think that we found a decent balance this year. I know Nashville as a whole, we found some more balance, and it was they still worked a lot of hours, but I think that we were able to get a lot more days off up there than what they've normally had. The national side, I think that I would say if you would go back and look, I think that they had probably more help on jobs. We probably had too much labor on some jobs that would help them. Maybe not as many days off, but I felt like this year we did a lot better. Michael and I kind of got together on some different things and moved people around or shifted people around to try and get some people off, and just trying to manage that. I think that we would love to. It's even already been in conversations already for this year, for next year, to try and maybe do, because there's times where our guys might be working 20 days straight, or more.
And that's what happens when you're on the road. Like, if you can't get home, you can't get home. And you don't want to sit in a hotel and do nothing. I'm the same way when we travel.
Well, yeah, that's why if I travel, I'll go do a day trip there and back, whether it's flying or driving, just so I can be home in my own bed the next day. Because what am I going to do, sit for 8 hours when I could have just been on a flight or could have been in the car and could have got home? But we've talked about for these guys possibly, giving them 14 days on if it's really busy, and then having a couple days off, getting them home or getting them a couple days off where they're at. And we did that a couple times this year with different crews. Give them days off of where they were at, or kind of if they were in between going from one job to the other, they stop in a certain city and give them a day off or two off. So we've looked at that too, and I think that that's going to be something that we need to really push hard for this year. And it's not just finding that work-life balance. It's like your guys are getting older, and I mean, you know what I mean? Like, these guys aren't going to be young forever, and the older that they get, you got to find their succession plan in the process, but also not burn them out. Not even burn them out mentally, but just physically too. So you almost have to, and some of those guys, you have to make them take a day off.
Well, and I think I've said it on here before. Yeah, you got to keep the guy happy, but you really got to make sure you keep the people at their house happy. Their wife, their spouse, whoever it is. Those are the ones that matter.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And so that rolls into another question of mine, is just like, how do you shut it off when you get home? You know what I mean? Like,
me?
It's not even just you, everybody, like as a whole. I mean, I know you in particular are still trying to figure that out. I'm trying to assist with that every day.
But every single day about work. That's all I know.
Yeah, and I'm trying to separate that line a little bit too, just because I know that don't want to say it's unhealthy for my marriage, but it's also a little bit unhealthy for my marriage when I come home and that's all we talk about. I don't mind asking how your day is or how my day is going, but I want to check in with you, how you're mentally doing, as a whole. I think shutting it off is hard, though, during the season because we all get those phone calls. Depending on what time of day it is, it doesn't really matter. It could be 10 o'clock at night. It could be 6 o'clock in the morning. We're all going to get those phone calls, so it's hard to shut off. And that's why I struggle with, right now, taking this time off. I know it's good for me, and I need it at the end of the year because everything's done, and I need to kind of sit back and take care of stuff that I didn't get to maybe put so much effort to during the year. But I'm also like, do I check my email? Do I call? Who do I need to? And I'm
You're
like,
an inbox
no,
zero guy.
no, don't do it. I know. And you know what? I'm not going to say I did or I didn't because I don't want anybody to hear this, but I've been looking at it the past 2 days, and I need to stop. And so I just need to sit back and try and enjoy. It's one of those things where it's weird. I went through this, and just being fully transparent, I went through this in 2018 when I got divorced. And somebody told me that you need to learn to be okay with yourself and okay to be alone, right? And once you can do that, then you can be okay for everybody else around you. And I think that this is one of those things where I am 100 miles an hour all day, every day. And when I come to the end of the season, I don't know what to do with myself. And I need to sit back and be okay and take this time to reflect, whether it be with God, whether it be with, working out or anything in general. It's just being okay with ourselves so that we can be okay with everybody around us and trying to shut that off. So that's what I'm going to try and do before I go into this next season.
Yeah, I think mine's going to get worse on the personal front. My wife's slowly taking over more of the administrative stuff for the Porta-John and restroom business. Mm-hmm. So the minute I walk in the door, she bombards me most nights with 100 questions of why hasn't this guy paid, or why did this guy tell me that you made a deal with him on the side? So once we get that dialed in, then we'll be good. But
is there anything that you think you're most excited to improve on for next year or anything like that?
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Will it happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny, you sit in the season and you're like, I'm going to write all this stuff down of everything we're going to change for next year. And then it comes wintertime, and you look at your list. Mine's hanging on the wall over here. There's 78 things on it. Mm-hmm. I'll be happy if we get 10 of them done. One, because, we go from a crew of 45 guys to there's 9 people on payroll right now. So,
yeah.
Out of that 9, 4 guys are in the washroom every day. So now we're down to 5 guys. A couple of them told me they want to take 2 months off. So I think I'm going to really only have 3 guys on payroll all winter, which is going to be pretty nice from a business standpoint. But it sucks from a getting stuff done standpoint.
Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
I want to see our rent went up a ton, so we kind of gave up some space, and we have to reorganize and move some stuff around just to be able to use less space while gaining space. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. Meanwhile, I'm over here looking at new buildings for Nashville. Hopefully we can find something. Hopefully we can grow into a little bit bigger building up there, and looking at just doing some different things. But really, I mean, as I say, we're wrapping up the year. Come January 1, we're getting ready to head out for Super Bowl. So getting everything worked out for that. I don't know that I will.
I asked these guys who work for Chattanooga, I'm like, does Nate help you? And they're like, Nate who?
Yeah. Let's see, last time I went was Vegas 2 years ago. I went out there to...
You did the 24-hour?
Yeah, we had the 24-hour crew. Had to do 2 20 meters that were fully weighted within 24 hours, so we worked 2 shifts. So went out and did that. If they need me this year, I'll go out. But I think between you and I, with ATA and ARA and Wisconsin and everything else we have coming up, I think the end of our January going into February and even March, we're pretty busy with show season, I like to call it. So if I don't have to travel really the end of December and the beginning of January, I think I'm just going to take that as much as possible. But as soon as I get that phone call that I'm needed out in San Francisco, I will be on the first flight out because it'll be a lot warmer there than it is here. I'll tell you that.
I'm going to try to take the wife skiing for a few days in January, but yeah, I don't know. We were planning on going away to like Aruba or something, but I don't think we're gonna go. I'm tired of traveling like you.
Oh man, you love it and hate it at the same time. Like after I went on the golf trip and came back, it's like it was nice to be home, and then it's like, okay, I'm ready to go. Where are we going next? And it's like, nope, don't do it. Just take it in because you're going to be traveling again in no time, and it'll be here before too long. So, but that's a wrap on season 1 of Under the Vinyl. If you were a part of it in any way, we really appreciate you, crews, planners, guests, everybody. This has been, I think, a very successful year. It was tough on trying to fit some of these in where we could, and I know Kyle was under a tree sometimes. I was in Nissan Stadium underground sometimes. We were all over the damn place, making sure that we could get this content out to you all. But we really appreciate everybody for being a part of it and helping us out through this whole thing. I think we got a lot more to build on and a lot more fun stuff coming up. But we need to continue to get people to help us build that. So if you could, like, subscribe, rate us, everything, anywhere you can find us would help. And if you have any guests that you want to see, or that you have any questions or anything at any point in time you want us to talk about, if you could drop those in the DMs as well on Instagram, that would be great. What do you think, Kyle?
We did it.
We did it.
And
we
look,
successfully completed.
And we're friends now, Nate. Look at that.
Well, we're just now I feel like we're married. Yeah, now I feel like we're married at this point. So,
ugh.
But good year. It'll be a better year in 2026. We'll get the hell out of 2025. So, signing off for one last time. This has been another episode of Under the Vinyl, a rental management media podcast.
Peace.